His first successful manned flight to the moon occurred on July 16, 1969, blasting off at 8:32 Eastern Time. The astronauts spent 21 hours on the moon and 4 days in space altogether. Ever wonder why it's called Apollo 11? That's because this space shuttle was the 11th one made. There were failures, but Apollo 11's success helped the United States win the space race with the Soviet Union.
No man can fully grasp how far we have come. Condense 50,000 years of human history into a time span of about half a century. We know little about the first 40,000 years. Men came out of caves just 10 years ago. About 5 years ago, man learned to use a cart with wheels. Less than 2 months ago, the steam engine came along, bringing with it a new source of power. Last month, electric lights, automobiles, and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop television and nuclear power. Now, we choose to go to the moon in this decade and do other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure our best efforts. Because that challenge is one we are willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
Hi, I'm Buzz. Aldrin. Wait, why am I at a school? Why am I a puppet? I thought I was... Oh, well. I was born on January 20th, 1930 in Glen New Jersey. So therefore I was 39 when I went up into space. I went to Army for college. My first space encounter was in Gemini 12 in 1966.
Hi, wait, who am I again?
Neil Armstrong, the first person to ever set foot on the moon, remember?
Hi, I'm Neil Armstrong. From my humble beginnings on August 5th, 1930 in Wapakoneta, Ohio, I lived 39 years before I set foot on the moon. Before that, I went to Purdue and was later accepted at MIT. I was in the Navy for a while. My first space flight was in Gemini 8 in 1966. Thankfully, that was not a failure.
Hello, I am President John F. Kennedy. I was born May 29, 1917, the second child of 9 brothers and sisters in Worcester, Massachusetts. My millionaire dad moved our family to Riverdale, New York. As your president, I went around making pledges and speeches to encourage this great country to land a man on the moon with the Soviet Union. They had a jumpstart on us, Sputnik, the first satellite in space. We achieved our great goal, but unfortunately I was assassinated before it happened. During the space race, we had a lot of failures before reaching our goal. Let's start with some of those there.
This is the American attempt at an unmanned test flight with Apollo 6 on April 4th, 1968. The fuel race changed and some of the parts fell off. And they reached space, but fell back down.
We Americans weren't the only ones with failures. Luna 1968 was set to take off on April 15, 1960, but stage 2 cut off too quickly and Luna 1968 flew past the moon. Soviets lost contact forever.
The very next day, they attempted to launch Luna 1960B. At the launch, the strap-on blocks for ignition failed to ignite properly and fired off in random directions. Tough break for the Soviets.
September 25th, 1960, the American Pioneer P-30 was supposed to orbit the moon. By due to more fuel burning, it ran through the atmosphere and splashed down in the Indian Ocean.
On February 12, 1961, the Soviets' Venera 1 was supposed to fly by Venus, take pictures, and send back information. Following launch, contact was lost. Forever!
You see, success doesn't often come without failures, or all at once. Many little successes were recorded, like Vostok 1, a Soviet spacecraft, which was the first manned Earth orbiter, and launched on April 12, 1961.
Try this. The Soviets' Luna 9 launched in February 1966 and was a lunar lander that didn't crash land. It's the same year Buzz and I had our first space encounters.
Then, of course, there was Apollo 8, the American spacecraft which took off on December 21st, 1968. It was the first successful manned lunar orbiter.
There was a great source of anxiousness in the crowd surrounding Cape Canaveral that day. They hoped it would not fail, that it would succeed. I wish I could have seen it. They say there were millions there, cars backing up the highways for miles, and all of them were waiting patiently.
Hi, I'm the captain of Apollo 11. Our objective is to send manned spacecraft to the moon and return home safely. It's July 16, 1969, 8:32 a.m. Eastern, and we're ready to launch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Michael Collins, Neil Armstrong, and I reached the moon on July 20th, 1969 at 3:17 p.m. Eastern Time. As captain, it was Neil who first stepped down on the moon and said,
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
19 minutes later, I followed him, and together we planted America's flag on the moon. We walked around for about 2 hours on that first lunar walk. We spent 21 hours in all before it was time to return home.
That's what got our country feeling great about ourselves. It gave us confidence and an accomplishment to be proud of. If we could put a man on the moon, what couldn't we do? Hi, I'm President John F. Kennedy, and I was played by Riley Yankee.
Hi, I'm Buzz Aldrin, and I was played by James Paradisi.
Hi, I'm Neil Armstrong, and I was played by Dane Olsen.
In the 70s, women were discriminated against in sports. In the world of tennis was in shock in 1973 when Bobby Riggs, very anti-women's rights, challenged young Billie Jean King to a tennis match. Earlier that year, Bobby had beaten Margaret Court in a match by quite a bit. He told Billie he could beat her just because he was a man. Who won? Well, after that match, discrimination against women in sports quickly disappeared.
The world champion. How do you do? Have you seen my giant sucker? I brought it as a gift for you, a 29-year-old, 18-time Grand Slam title achiever. It's a gift to the biggest sucker in the world.
I thank you for the gift, Bobby Riggs. Now present you with the pig that you are. In fact, his name is Laramore.
You just wait, and we'll see who the pig is at the end of this match. I will crush you, Billie Jean King. Did you hear me? Crush you. This match will go down in history as the match where the 1966-1975 Grand Slam record holder Billie Jean King lost to the world champion, Bobby Riggs.
Ha! Like a tennis student.
Sorry I'm late. I ran into a pig. You must be Billie Jean King, record holder of 20 Wimbledon titles. You two getting prepared for your big match here in Houston, Texas on September 20th, 1973. Well, would you look at that? Speaking of pigs, they brought gifts for each other. How sweet.
I have a question. Will I get paid? After all, if I can't play for big money, I play for a little money. If I can't play for a little money, I stay in bed that day. I should have stayed in bed.
Mr. Riggs, are you ready to start the match? This crowd of 30,472 people seems ready.
No, of course. Thank you, Miss King, for reminding me. I must make my intro speech and you must introduce yourself to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the big day. I know how all of you women feel out there in the stands and all over the world. We women are discriminated in sports just for the mere fact that we're a woman. A while back, earlier in 1973, I fought with Bobby Riggs and he beat me by quite a stretch. Then he went to challenge young Billie here, winning to humiliate women even further. Billie, fight for women! Now please introduce yourselves. You're first, Miss King.
Hello, everyone. My name is Billie Jean King of Long Beach, California. I was raised in a conservative Methodist family and began playing tennis when I was just 10 years old. I was coached by the wonderful Alice Marble and am the winner of 32 Grand Slam titles. I was the year-ending #1 in six of the 10 years between 1966 and 75. Today, I'm thrilled to participate in this wonderful match. Thank you for being a witness.
In case you haven't already noticed, I am the great, the wonderful, the only Bobby Laramore Riggs. I was born in Los Angeles on February 25th, 1918. I was world champion at the age of 16. Can you believe that, people? 16. I beat professional players in my early years. I can't believe I'm here. My middle name should not be Laramore. It should be Awesome. Yes, awesome.
Thank you both very much for this wonderful introduction.
that.
30-30! Yeah, yes! Advantage rigs! Deuce! Advantage rigs! Deuce! Advantage king!
No!
King, winner of the Southern California Championships, wins the first set. Let the second set begin!
Who's the sucker now?
15 love!
And you're calling me a pig? I'm on a roll.
Champs keep playing until they get it right.
No.
40-30!
Dang it.
Advantage king!
Oh, come on, you can do better than that.
Advantage king! Yeah, king! I didn't say anything. King wins!
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, particularly ladies, I'm so happy to say I defeated Bobby Riggs. I'm proud to have represented you. I would like to thank our wonderful referee, Miss Margaret Court, who met Mr. Riggs in court earlier in 1973.
Oh, yes, I remember that too well, Billy. Smashed me that Bobby and felt pretty darn good about himself. You know, in a way, I was representing women the way he treated us. We would thought we were pigs! That guy's got terrible sportsmanship, which is why I'm so glad our young Billy here smashed him to pieces.
Oh, Margaret, I can't tell you how thrilled I am to defeat Mr. Riggs. I hope he will stop his incessant bragging. And most of all, I'm happy to know that I've changed women's lives in sports forever. These wonderful women have fought for their rights, but they never really succeeded in the sports world. After this battle of the sexes, there'll be no more discrimination amongst women athletes.
Hooray!
Just think, Margaret, 20 years from now, women will be so successful in the sports world. They now know that gender has no impact on the sport. It's just who you are. I hope they realize that.
Oh, Margaret, we meet again. You know, although Miss King here has defeated me by luck, I will never be defeated in my heroic mind.
Oh, Mr. Riggs, you are far from heroic. You are just plain horrible. I can't even admit you're the you pig!
I'm the last. Following this event, in the following months, athletes will be taken for granted.
Ha! Do you really think that will happen, King? Don't get your hopes up. Women are much too weak to fight. Don't make me laugh.
Oh, Bob, you don't understand women. We fight our hardest. Why don't you see the laws that passed in the 20s? Those are the acts of women who fought and continue to fight.
Yes! Stop being such a hoe! Hi, everyone. I'm Margaret Court, and I was wonderfully played by Sarah Warner.
Hi, everyone. As you already know, I am the fabulous Bobby Riggs and was played by Grace Van Deelen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Billie Jean King, and I was played by Vivian Wilhelms. I hope you enjoyed the play.
For our last amazing show of the evening, we will learn about how the internet, the magnificent internet, came about. The internet was born during the 1990s. Tim Berners-Lee had the first successful communication through the internet. Joyce K. Reynolds and Michael Dell helped too. The World Wide Web has revolutionized the way we do things. It has brought us email, games, search, videos, and so much more. Most people use the internet daily. The people who created the internet changed the world.
How many times have you been on the internet and seen HTTP at the beginning of the page's address? Do you really know what HTTP means and how it helped the World Wide Web develop?
Hello, you must be Joyce K. Reynolds. I have heard many great things of you. Aren't you that marvelous computer scientist who helped out with the IANN?
Yes, I am. You must be Tim Berners-Lee. You are a huge helping in making of the resource everyone loves to use, the World Wide Web.
Correct. Glad to see someone recognize my contributions to the United States and world history altogether. I came up with the very first web browser server and made the first proposal for the making of the World Wide Web.
Yes, I remember what you did. But I was wondering, what does HTTP stand for and why is HTTP important? Whenever I'm on your fabulous World Wide Web, I always see HTTP.
Very good question. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTP is very important because web browsers and servers, which I created, use HTTP to communicate with each other. This helps people check that they did assignments correctly by asking other people, or, well, you get the idea. Without HTTP, some people would be unable to connect to each other, making this a very important invention.
You've heard what Joyce K. Reynolds helped with, but what is the IANA?
Well, that helps out things.
What does the IANA do?
The IANA manages the DNS root zone. DNS stands for Domain Name System. DNS root zones hold names and addresses for top-level domains. IANA stands for Internet Assigned Number Authority. IANA helps out with the computer knowing what site a person is asking to go to and can provide on the www.
I see.
Why, hello, Tim, Joyce. I am
Al Gore. You are at the moment advisor of Google, who used to be the Vice President of the United States.
Yes, I am. Timothy Berners-Lee, a British engineer computer scientist, who did the first really successful communication through computers. You see, I know just as much about you.
Wow, Al, you were born in 1948. Right. Oh, and you graduated from Harvard in 1969.
Yes, I feel so honored to be in the presence of such successful people. Without the World Wide Web idea, we'd be nowhere, Tim. What would we do without resources packed full of information as the www with Google and everything? Joyce, I've heard you're a member of the Internet Engineering Steering Group. Amazing!
Well, I must be going off to meetings for the WWW, the World Wide Web. That's what WWW stands for. So see you all around.
I have a speech to give about the IANA.
Wow, the World Wide Web has helped everyone get so many more things done. From research to questions, the WWW has it all. I'm so pleased to have met such great people. Tons of people use the WW to make money, but Michael Dell was the first to make cash from this brilliant idea.
Hello, Tim. I think you're brilliant. It takes a genius to think of such a complicated idea as useful as the World Wide Web and to be the director of the WW Consortium. The WW Consortium oversees the WW's development over time, correct?
Of course. You're that man Big Dell, right? I've heard you made around $50 billion through Dell. And that must mean that tons of people use Dell. Dell computers must access all the latest editions of the WWW, which means that it's very useful. Nobody would have it any other way.
Yes, I'm Michael Dell. I bet you can guess where I got the name Dell Computers. Hint, hint, my last name. Who's that gorgeous woman and that proper man over there?
Hello, Michael. Thanks for the compliment. I'm Joyce K. Reynolds.
No problem. And who are you, sir?
You want my business card? I am Al Gore, full name Albert Arnold Gore Jr., and I graduated from Harvard and helped with Google. I was, however, the former vice president of Google. I would be most delighted to fan the job.
What a businessman. Anyways, I'm not necessarily a fan. Actually, I'm Michael Dell. Many Dell.
Oh, I see. Sorry about that.
Oh, don't fret. I must be off. I'm dreadfully late to a meeting.
Bye. I have to get home too.
The internet was developed over time from the first brainstorm Tim Berners-Lee had. Things were added the magnificent idea, and that's how the internet became what it is today.
A way for people to communicate. Perhaps it's impossible to communicate on the computer. Or is it? If I could invent something for communication on the computer, I would be famous. What would I name it? World Wide Web, that's it.
One of the many things added to the internet was a program from Minnesota named Gopher. It was invented since the University of Minnesota wanted a way to share documents without difficulties.
What a great idea. All of the additions to my fabulous idea made the WWW an amazing thing, full of resources. Imagine what people would do if they had to look up every confusing word. Instead, we just go to dictionary.com. Or if everything had to be handwritten, there'd be some tired hands.
Another invention is Dell, a computer created by Michael Dell.
I've
seen many people make signs for www, but no one ever saw signs for www. This idea time to make a computer that has all the access to www. But how? It would have all the use and distance to the World Wide Web, so people can have a good brain computer with all the fabulous new ways to look at things and communicate.
I've always been interested in computers. Perhaps I'll take a major in computer science and make myself a computer scientist. I'm so excited. My first day managing the DNS root zone.
Later in history, I'll have you know, I became an advisor of Google, a huge part of the www. People often use Google to research information, pictures, videos, and much, much more.
We know, Al. What would we do without the World Wide Web?
I'm Al Gore, and I was played by Jenna Dressing.
I'm Joyce K. Reynolds, and I was played by Hannah Lemrick.
I'm Michael Bell, and I was played by Maggie. I'm Sabrina Slade, and I was played by Autumn Backroom.
We're off to search the World Wide Web.
Hi, I'm Richard M. Nixon, and I was played by Clay Williamson. Thanks for coming to our show.